This is Mrs. Hosmer, and today's lesson is Eureka Math, Grade 6, Module 1, Lesson 7, Associated Ratios and the Value of a Ratio. Okay, so which of the following correctly models that the number of red gumballs is 5 to 3, the number of white gumballs, 5 over 3. Okay, so first thing you're going to look for is 5 red. Okay, so that eliminates A and C. D has 5 red, but it has 8 white. So the only answer it could be is B, which is 5 red to 3 white. This is also on page S27. Okay, example 2, the duration of 2 films are modeled below. When we did this in class, I explained that duration means time. Okay, so the time of 2 films are modeled below. So film A, they give you 5, film B is 7. So it asks you, the ratio of the length of film A to the length of film B is 5 to 7. Remember, order is important, so whatever they say first should be your first number for the ratio. The length of film A is, and then your first thing that they say, your first number would be up here for a fraction. That would be your numerator, so 5 over 7. 7 is your denominator then, okay? So the denominator would be the second thing that they mention. C, the length of film B, which is 7, goes on top now, the numerator, of the length of film A. So A would be your denominator. I'm sorry, 5. So it'd be 5. Okay, this is page 28. Sammy and Kaden went fishing using live shrimp as bait. Sammy brought 8 more shrimp than Kaden brought. When they combined their shrimp, they had 32 shrimp together. How many shrimp did each boy bring? Well, they gave you that Sammy had 8 more, so this is how I would set it up. So Sammy, you don't know this number yet, you don't know this number yet, but Sammy has 8 more that he brought. And they gave you the total was 32. So I could subtract the 8 that Sammy brought from 32, and that should give you 24. And then I could divide the 24 by 2, because there's 2 boys, and then put it in the spots 12 and 12, right? So if you divide 24 by 2, it equals 12. So then Sammy, you would have to add that 8 more than Kaden to it. So he brought 20 and Kaden brought 12. So if you add 20 plus 12, it equals 32. Okay, B, what is the ratio of the number of shrimp Sammy brought to the number of shrimp Kaden brought? So Sammy brought the 12 plus the 8 more, which equaled 20, and Kaden brought 12, so the ratio would be 20 to 12, or 20 to 12, however you want to write it. It says express the number of shrimp Sammy brought as a fraction of the number of shrimp Kaden brought. So Sammy brought 20, his number goes on top because they mentioned him first for the ratio. So that's your numerator, and your denominator would be what Kaden brought, which was 12. So it'd be 20 over 12. D, what is the ratio of the number of shrimp Sammy brought to the total number of shrimp? Well, the total number of shrimp was 32 is what they told us, right? And we figured out that Sammy brought 20 of the shrimp. So whatever they said first, Sammy would be first, would be 20 to 32, the number of shrimp total. Then they ask you to write it as a fraction. So 20 is what Sammy brought, so that should be on top. That should be your first number, so that'd be your numerator. Your denominator would be 32, the total number of shrimp. Okay, this is on page S29, exercise 2. I'm not gonna lie, this one made me stutter a little bit. A food company that produces peanut butter decides to try out a new version of its peanut butter that is extra crunchy, using twice the number of peanut chunks as normal. The company hosts a sampling of its new product at the grocery stores and finds that 5 out of every 9 customers prefer the new extra crunchy version. So let's make a list of ratios that might be relevant for the situation. It says the ratio of number preferring new extra crunchy to total number surveyed is, so they told you 5 preferred the new extra crunchy to a total of 9 customers. Okay, the ratio of number preferring regular crunchy to the number surveyed is, well, they don't tell you how many were the regular. You'd actually have to subtract the 5 from the 9 to get that answer, which is 4. So 4 prefer the regular to 9. The ratio of number preferring regular crunchy to the number preferring new extra crunchy is 4, that's the regular, and to 5, okay? And the ratio of number preferring new extra crunchy to the number preferring regular crunchy would be 5 to 4. Okay, B, let's use the value of each ratio to make multiplicative comparisons for each of the ratios we described here. So the number preferring new extra crunchy is 5 over 9 of the total number surveyed. The number preferring regular crunchy was 4, so 4 goes on top, that's your numerator. Of the total number surveyed was 9, so 9 would be your denominator. The number preferring regular crunchy was 4 over, of those preferring new extra crunchy would be 5 would be your denominator. The number preferring new extra crunchy would be 5 on top, the numerator. Of those preferring regular crunchy would be 4, the denominator. Okay. Now they said, if the company is planning to produce 90,000 containers of crunchy peanut butter, how many of these containers should be the new extra crunchy variety, and how many of these containers should be the regular crunchy peanut butter? What would be helpful in solving this problem? Does one of our comparison statements above help us? So what you could do is you can make a tape diagram, right? So they told you the extra crunchy was 5 out of 9, and the regular was 4, we figured out, right? So you have 9 total here. And then you have 90,000 containers of peanut butter. So you could divide 9 into 90,000 to find out how much each square equals. Okay? Oh, sorry. So if each square is 10,000, because if you divide 9 into 90,000, you'd get 10,000 for each square. What was their final question? How many of these containers should be the new extra crunchy variety? New extra crunchy, if you had 10,000 each square, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 would be the extra crunchy, okay? And how many of these containers would be the regular crunchy? It'd be 10, 20, 30, 40,000 would be the regular. Okay, D, if the company decides to produce 2,000 containers of regular crunchy peanut butter, how many containers of new extra crunchy peanut butter would it produce? Okay, so I gave you a hint. The regular was 4, and the extra, or the new one, was 5, right? So they gave us 2,000 would be how many they would produce of the regular. So I could divide the 4 into the 2,000 to find out how much each part would be. Okay, so if you divide 4 into 2,000, you would come up with 500 for each square. And I could also put the 500 in each square for the extra. So I know the regular is 2,000. I could divide the 4 parts. That would give me 500 for each part. Each part for the extra would be 500. So I could multiply 500 times 5 to get 2,500 for my total extra peanut butter. Okay. So if the company decides to produce 10,000 containers of new extra crunchy, 10,000, how many containers of regular crunchy peanut butter would it produce? So if you have that answer, you know there's 10,000 and there's 5 parts to the extra crunchy. I could divide 5 into 10,000, and then each part would be 2,000 each, okay? And then I could either add 2,000 4 times, or I can multiply 4 times 2,000 to get my answer that they were looking for the regular crunchy peanut butter, okay? If the company decides to only produce 3,000 containers of new extra crunchy peanut butter, how many containers of regular crunchy peanut butter would it produce? What do we know? We know that the extra crunchy, they gave us 3,000. I know there's 5 parts to the extra crunchy, so I could divide 5 into 3,000 and figure out that each part of that 5 would be 600, okay? I could also put the 600s here. So 600 times 4 would give me my answer for F. Whoops. I think that's it. Thank you.